What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report, as well as Joe Boo's day job. And we're here at the Red Brick House. I haven't done any videos in a while here. I've been literally all over the place. I mean, literally all over the place. Been working in Pennsylvania. Next month, we'll be actually going to Vermont. First time I've ever been to Vermont, where we're going to be doing a volunteer project where a place close to Burlington, Vermont, had a severe flood. It's basically between the mountains, and literally the water just came through and devastated the town. So we're going to be working on that. We'll be up there for like 8 or 9 days or so. So we'll be working on that. I've got the draft next week, and I've been doing some things here at the Red Brick House, getting things done, but more on a smaller scale. It's so much easier right now, of course, because we've got the worst of the stuff done. But this is probably the best the outside of this house has looked in probably 30 or 40 years. Of course, you know, we had started doing some of the painting on the outside here. The leaves are coming out on the trees, and I'm going to just walk around the outside of here to kind of give you a feel for what we've done. So we learned we found a beautiful mailbox that we put up originally quite a while ago. Unfortunately, the mailman will not deliver to the house. This is not a walking route. It has to be on the street. So we've got this black mailbox here with our house number and stuff on there, which looks pretty good. We've gone through and we planted a few plants in the front, some hostas, and this little bush that'll get about 24 inches or so tall. And I think what we're going to do one of these days, when I really feel like pulling out the jackhammer, I'm going to jackhammer and get rid of the concrete here, and I'm going to carry the railing across, and we're going to make this basically the entranceway. Now, a project we have coming up that you guys will actually be able to be part of is we're going to do a brick walkway that's going to carry all the way through here, but not just your normal brick paver walkway. The historic committee is looking at also granting us some money to help. They've got an event for Memorial Weekend at the at the cemetery. And I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to be barbecuing out here and serving refreshments. I'm going to surprise them. So for all the people there, they'll be able to come through and do a walkthrough and see the house, because I am very, very proud of it. I'm working on getting the outside here of the deck and stuff cleaned off in the backyard and things. I still have the wood up here for the other shutters that are going to be made to go down here to match the shutters that we have on the top. I already have the hardware and stuff for them. And you can see they give it a nice little look. Having the black, the red, and the white, I think it looks good. Now, as far as the grass goes, we've actually put down weed and feed because the grass has been wild while we've been doing construction, so we've got a lot of weeds and ivy and everything else that's been in it. So we're trying to kill that before we plant grass seed. But we've cut the grass a couple of times, and you can begin to see that this will be a nice area over here. Put some mulch around the tree so that way it's looking pretty good. We've done the weed killer because we've had bad ivy, poison ivy that's been on the outside of the house, so we don't want to have that on there. Now we're looking at this tree and hoping that this tree will come out, because I really don't want to have to get rid of this tree, but we will if we have to. But you can see once the grass fills in here, this will be nice. We still have to point up the bricks over here and paint the outside. I've got to get a lift so I can finish doing the brick up in here, and you can see where the bird's nest is there, but definitely better than what it used to be. Now I've got a major project here. Unfortunately, there's this retaining wall, and the retaining wall has crumbled in some places. It had a tree coming out of it. I've gone through and I've started cutting the trees, and what I think I'm going to try and do, and we're going to see if this is going to work or not, is I'm going to back dig the retaining wall and see if I can stand this part up. Over here, there used to be steps that were in all the brush, and you can see where part of the retaining wall had collapsed. So what I'm thinking of doing is we'll go through and we'll dig this out, get ourselves a footer into it, and we'll frame it up So we'll join this leg of the steps with this one because that'll help to hold it. And we'll end up putting, this is leaning back this way, but what we'll do is we'll go back down here, put another form, and just build this wall out to kind of retie it back together. This won't be a permanent solution. The permanent solution would be get a backhoe here, destroy this, dig into the hill, and pour a whole new one. And that's going to be major money. If I can get this retaining wall here put back together to at least keep it for 5 or 10 years, then that would be great. All right, so over here, now this is where it's going to be interesting. Again, you'll remember my brother was here when it was cold, and we started working on getting rid of some of the ivy and the brush and stuff up there. We have gone through here, we have cut the hill. I'm going to plant wildflowers on the hill, so that way the hummingbirds and stuff will be able to get the nectar out of that. It'll look a lot better than the weeds and everything else. All these are lilies down here, so we're going to keep that. But we've gone through and we've got all the weeds and everything out. We'll plant grass seed, and we have a garden here. So today I planted a couple of rows of onions, and we've got some kale, and we have some 15-pound cabbages here. So supposedly the cabbages will be able to grow up to 15 pounds. They're showings. The other thing we started working on here is the screened in porch. We got rid of the screens that were on there because it was butt ugly. We framed that up, and we ended up putting the siding on here. So now the back of the house isn't quite as much an eyesore. Now we are still working on putting up our screening and things around here. We'll probably put some lattice or something to make that look better, and we've got to paint all of the trim and stuff on the outside, but that looks a whole lot better. We've got our door that we can lock right there, and eventually I'll put a bench in there, so that way that'll be the entranceway when I'm coming from the garden and I'm dirty. We can take our shoes off there, and it'll be like a mud room. I think I'm going to go ahead, because the laundry room's over there, there's plumbing up underneath of there, is I'll put a spigot out here, so that way we have a hose where we can water the garden. But again, we've gone through, we've gotten all of the weeds and stuff out of here. Eventually we'll be building an outdoor kitchen probably right there where those rocks are, and that way we'll really be able to do some nice barbecues and things like that. So that's what we've been doing here at the red brick house. Can't wait to see the vegetables grow. I want to get some planters to go up in here so we can plant some herbs and spices and things. The nice thing about planting the like basil and rosemary and thyme is it's a natural repellent for the bugs. So not only will you be able to eat it, it also helps keep the bugs and stuff from coming in. So we're trying to live as one with this house and Mother Nature and get the most out of it that we can. So that's a look at what we've done on the outside. Again, I've got to get up here and finish building the soffit up there. I need to paint, and you see where some of the silver roof paint got spilled on there. But all in all, it's definitely come a long ways from where it was, and I'm very proud of how it's beginning to look. It's nice because people always slow up outside and tell us, man, the place is looking great, or I meet people. They weren't delivering the mail to us, and so I had a package that came in, was delivered, and they said it's ready for pickup. And so I went to the post office and said, hey, I've got the mailbox here out front, and showed them a picture of it. And it turns out the postal supervisor used to deliver mail here. And he said, man, the place is looking great up there, man. You guys are doing a great job. And it's like, yeah, well, you didn't notice the mailbox out there? I figure that would be the first thing that the mailman would discover. Oh, boy. All right. It's nice to finally sit down. It's about 7 o'clock. The days are longer, and it's nice to be able to go in and know I've got some seats to sit in. I'm not in a pile of dirt. I can take a shower, and I got my studio. It's like a real home after all. I'm Mark Holmes with the Red Brick House, and It'll look really nice once we get those pavers done. I need to work on getting the site together, because this is where, if you want to help be a part of the history, and this house is not going anywhere. I've already told my kids that I don't want you to ever sell it. But if by chance they do sell it, here's the good news about this place. We got put into the covenants of this, that this house can never be torn down. The only way that this house can be removed is by an act of God. So what we're going to do with our walkway here is, they're going to be 4x8 bricks, with the exception of down the middle. Down the middle, it's going to be 8x8 bricks. And it will have every decade on. So we'll have 2020, 2010, 2000, and so on. And what we'll have printed on each of these bricks will be 3 significant things that happened during that decade. So when they landed on the moon with the 70s and so on, and things like that, that would be listed on there. When television was put in, when that started, and so on. When the railroad started in the 1830s, and so on. And I think that will be kind of cool, because they'll start out with 2020, and as you get here to the last one, you'll be at 1820. And I can imagine people, without Walmart, of course, sitting across the street, but sitting out here on the front porch, feeling the breeze, watching the sun go down after a long day of hard work. I love this place. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. Peace.